All right, so in this video, I'm gonna fucking remind you that you are the operant power and no one has free will in your reality. Stay tuned to make sure you watch this. Hey everyone, it's Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. So before we dive into this fun, very interesting concept, I want to remind you that if you feel like you need additional support other than my free content, I do have a master list below which links all the different ways you can work with me. I have email coaching, one-on-one coaching, paid Facebook group. I have a group, Zoom coaching group. I also have 2 self-guided courses that are available now, which is, You Are the Prize, my self-concept course, all about your self-concept and love, as well as how to manifest your SP back and keep them for good, because that's the goal at the end of the fucking day, right? Manifesting them in is fucking easy. It's keeping them, sustaining what it is that you desire. So everything can be found in the master link below. So let's talk about this fun topic because, this is the thing, is that everybody's where they're at in their own journey, and you take what resonates with you, but at some point you need to just decide, this is what I'm choosing to believe right now, and be open that the more I learn and the more I transform and the more I understand the spiritual concepts that are always at play, i.e. law of assumption and everyone is you pushed out, that I may be privy to a different interpretation of it, right? So this is such a topic that people can get have issues with. I'm not really sure why. So let's look at this. When we understand law of assumption and we understand everyone is you pushed out, law of assumption is what you assume will be, okay? That is what you manifest. When you understand everyone is you pushed out, that everyone is just playing the part that you're assigning to them via your inner stories, via your assumptions of who they are, who you are in regards to them, and what you are assuming is happening between the two of you. So that is the 2 most powerful concepts, spiritual concepts that are at play all the time, whether you are consciously dealing with it or consciously aware of it or not. It's still happening no matter what. Then we look at your consciousness creates your reality. So I personally, where I'm at in this journey, I believe that people do not have free will. I believe that at some point people will conform. And I've just seen it too many times in my own life to just be like, oh, that's a fluke. No, it's actually not a fluke. And if people were separate from us, then this wouldn't work, and we wouldn't be able to get all the success stories that there are, because there's a shit ton and there's thousands of people that are manifesting SPs back, that are changing positions in their job, people are conforming all around them to deliver their manifestation that they desire, because everyone is you pushed out, whether it's money, it's your career, it's clients you're dealing with, family members, friends, SPs, doesn't fucking matter. Everyone is you pushed out. So whatever you're desiring, somebody's got to get the idea and go along with it. So having said that, when you understand that your consciousness creates your reality, then what you focus on and what your story is in your mind, consciously or subconsciously, is what, again, people conform to and manifest in your experience. Now, I know like a year and a half ago, and I talked about this before, I wasn't really sure about the free will thing. Like I was open to it, and it was like very fascinating to me. But I had to just kind of I didn't say, yes, I believe that 100%, or no, this is crazy what people are saying, right? I was just like, I don't really know. I'm leaning towards it. It's interesting, but I need to kind of, sit with it a little bit longer. But it's understanding that you have to make the decision, because how can you say I'm the operant power, but then no one has, or people have free will in my reality? Because it doesn't match. How can you say that your consciousness creates your reality, but I don't know if people will conform to the new story that I'm holding about myself and them? So this is the thing, and again, everybody has their own belief system, but you have to make the decision what you're going to choose to believe in when it comes to these concepts, and understand it. And I mean, at the end of the day, you don't even have to believe it, and it will still happen, because none of us even knew about everyone as you pushed out. People were still conforming, and people still didn't have free will in your reality. They still conform to the story. So I think it's just kind of understanding, as a conscious creator, when you're learning this stuff, it's really you deciding, well, this is what I'm going to choose to believe right now, or this is what I'm going to choose to agree with. Maybe not even believe. Maybe believe is too much of a deep level or a deep understanding, because you haven't really experienced it enough yourself to really buy into it, right? So maybe you just say, that sounds really interesting to me. I'm going to agree with this for now, right? And then I want you to understand what you're dealing with. So what you're saying is that when I change the story of me, people conform, right? Well, then, because if that didn't happen, then why would all these X's come back? Why would all these SPs change? Why would the people in your job change? Why are people conforming to your affirmations and your new stories? Why is it only a hit or miss? You know, if you're believing why it only gets these people, but it can't happen to these people. To me, that makes no sense. To me, that's kind of law of attraction where it's still hit or miss, rather than, no, I'm the operant power. I know when I persist in a story of me and I've pushed that out so much, like I get what I want, you know? And this is the thing, is really standing in your power and moving out of the victim state that I am the operant power. My consciousness does create. I don't need to worry about other people's realities. I say that all the time. I don't care about other people's realities. I don't care what they're manifesting, what they're doing. I'm just worried about my consciousness, because my consciousness creates my reality. So what I choose to focus on, what I choose to assume, what I choose to affirm, you know, is what will manifest. So in my life, in my bubble of my mind, in my world, that is what I focus on. I pick and choose the reality that I want to experience, knowing the people in it will conform. So this is where I want you to start getting a little bit more brazen with yourself and saying, you know what? I'm just going to worry about what I want. I'm just going to focus on what I want, because it really isn't sitting here trying to say, well, what if they don't? What if they do? Because that's doubting, right? Which is normal, but you want to start moving away from that and saying, it doesn't matter. My thoughts create my reality. This is what I'm focusing on. I want to focus on what it is that I want, and people will conform. If this were not true, then I know not only in my life, because it's been with multiple people, multiple things, multiple times, but in this industry, working as a coach, teaching this, do you know how many people share that shit is conforming, shit has conformed? There's success stories everywhere. So it's not a fluke, it's real. And I think you just really need to, the ones of you that aren't sure, because I get it, you know, it's a deep concept. It goes against the grain of what we really know to be our truth from living in the 3D realm, right? But I know for me, I still was open to it, and I still took the thing that I'm just going to focus on what I want. I'm just going to focus on what I want. And then as I started doing that, I saw people conform more and more to whatever story I was holding, because as a conscious creator, you become aware of what you're thinking, favorably or not. So I could see the conforming happening favorably and not favorably. So then I was like, oh, there is no free will. And that's what really solidified it for me when I was kind of tipsy, you know, turvy about it, not really fucking sure, because I kept seeing it play out over and over in my reality. So this is a thing, you know, you just need to decide that I'm the operant power, that my thoughts create. I just need to be responsible for what I choose to focus on and the story I'm holding of what I want to manifest. And that's it. If you're not sure about free will, then just say, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to focus on what I want and know that it will come to be. And just persist in that story. You know, a lot of you get so hung up on, you know, do I believe this? And what about that? And da-da-da. Like, don't worry about it. Just focus on what you want. You will see, you will manifest the evidence of people conforming in your reality to your new story. And that will help you decide more if you believe in free will or not, you know? So I don't believe that people do have free will in our reality. I do believe that people have to conform to some extent, or, you know, not some extent, but they'll all conform. I don't think we control the timing of it, and that's okay, right? Because if people had free will, then this would not work. It wouldn't work. It would be so random. It would be such a fluke. It would be so inconsistent, and it would be very, very small numbers, like very minimal success stories. And we see the opposite all the time with what everybody shares all over the world, all over the YouTube channels, all over the fucking comments, all in the fucking blogs, like wherever, groups. There's so much evidence to show you how people conform. So I just want you to understand that even if you don't believe it, that people don't have free will, you still focus on what you want. It's your reality. You are the operant power. You are the fucking creator of it. You don't let other people who have limiting beliefs rob you of this beautiful experience that we are here to live and do and that you've awakened to. Because there are a lot of people that go back and forth with it, or they don't believe it, which is kind of interesting to me that they don't believe it, but they've done it themselves. So I'm like, I don't really understand that. But the bottom line is this, is just make the decision that even if I'm not sure about it, I'm gonna stick to focusing on what I want, knowing and trusting that my consciousness creates my reality. And no one is separate from me. I mean, if you understand everyone as you push out and you actually accept that and you believe it, even if you haven't really implemented it and you haven't internalized it, right? Like intellectually it makes sense to you, then that is proof to you that no one has free will, because no one is separate from us. Everybody is just playing the part that we're assigning internally. So your job is to always go internally and focus on the story you want. That is it. Pick a handful, write down, this is what I want, boom, boom, boom. Write out those affirmations, repeat them all day long if your dominant thoughts keep going all day long to the opposite of what you want. Reprogram it, focus and persist, and watch the fucking magic unfold. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.